I'm Jenefer, I'm the founder of Silk Helix, and in this video I'm going to tell you 5 ways that you can cut costs without cutting people. So let's go. The first one, reducing absence. Absence costs. Whether or not you're paying people or paying for cover, there'll be times where you may well be paying for sick pay and paying out for people to cover that absence, which is obviously going to have a lot of cost. You may only be paying statutory sick pay, there's still a cost involved in that, but there's also a cost to the things that haven't been done, the impact on customers, the impact on the rest of the team. All of these things have knock-on effects, and absence costs money. Reduce absence. My top tips for doing this: make sure people phone in sick and make sure you speak to them afterwards when they come back about the reasons for their absence, how you can reduce it and the impact on the team. I've got other videos that go in more detail around absence and how you can reduce it, but really crucial that we get that down and we look at ways that we can make sickness have less impact on the business. Number 2, improve efficiency. Make sure that people are focused on the tasks you really need them to be focused on. They know what's expected of them, they know what good looks like. And think about software. Use software first. Make sure that you train people in how to use software. And if your staff are complaining about things being a waste of time or taking too long to do, take note, listen to them. They do this job day in, day out, and they know where the inefficiencies are. They know where things can be saved, and it may only be the odd few minutes here and there, but they make a huge impact when we add them all together. I'd love you to drop your hints and tips for improving efficiency in the comments below. Number 3, get rid of clunky processes like annual appraisals and probationary periods. This might sound a bit crazy coming from a HR lady who's probably talked way too much about these things over the years, but the reality is these processes aren't really doing very much for you. Again, I've got another video where I go into detail on this, particularly around probationary periods, but often these processes are in place to deal with the odd few people who aren't performing, and they're not the best way of dealing with it. It puts everybody in a situation of feeling not trusted, feeling like they've got to fill in all these forms, they've got to have these meetings that they don't really see value in. Get rid of them and put processes in place that really fit your business. Yes, you've got to induct people into your business. Yes, you've got to monitor performance, but probationary periods and appraisals are not the best way to do it. Number 4, improve retention. Keep the right people doing the right things. Retaining people will always be cheaper than recruiting new people. Make sure you're giving people what they need in order to make them stay. I see on so many forums questions about how do I motivate my team? How do I keep my team? What better benefits can I give them to make them stay with us? Don't ask us, don't ask random forums, ask the people that you've got, and particularly the right people, and make sure you're retaining the right people, the people who are doing a good job for you, and the people that know the business, the people that are reliable, all of these great things. Make sure they're the people that you're retaining. And number 5, make sure you're protecting the business. When recessions come, we see an increase in employment tribunals. People can't quickly go and get another job, so we find that we're much more likely to make claims. Make sure you avoid them by doing all of the above and making sure that you're complying with the employment law, that you're keeping on the right side, and you've got the basics in place, things like employment contracts. Not only that, but you've got employment contracts in place that protect you. Things like layoff clauses, short-time working. When we do get into financial difficulties, there are times where it's essential to keep people in jobs, to reduce their hours, or potentially even to lay them off for 4 days at a time because we haven't got work available for them. This isn't something anyone wants to do, and it's not great, but it can be better than going through a redundancy process, particularly when there aren't other options out there for people. It can be better for them to support the business through so that they can get out the other side and get things back to where they need to be. And we saw this a lot in the 2008 recession. Make sure that you've got contracts in place that allow you to do this. Make sure that you're protecting the business with things like deductions from wages clauses. If you're investing in training, make sure that you've got training refund agreements in place. So if people leave, that you can reclaim the costs of that, because you're going to need to then train somebody else. They're getting the benefits from their CV, but also see what I said about retention and trying to retain these people, find out what it is they want, they need to be able to keep them in the business. But get your foundations in place. It's really important, particularly in these times, to make sure that we know that people aren't getting what they need and that the business is protected. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how business can save money without cutting people. Drop them in the comments below, and if you've got any questions, drop them there too, and I will do my best to answer every single one. If you found this video useful, subscribe, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss a single video.